like confetti in a windstorm.
Hello, all my fellow mind travelers. This is Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind, in affiliation with Story to Screen and the Starfish Foundation. That is wearestarfish.org. They help youngsters in crisis through mentoring and positive experiences. We have a guest, Barry Morgenstein, today. He's a renowned portrait photographer. He's taken pictures of all kinds of people from A-listers and on. Some notable names: Elton John, Michael Jackson, just to name a couple among the big list. He also appeared in magazines and on album covers, and his work has been in magazines, album covers, and book jackets. Really awesome work too, by the way. I've seen a lot of it. And there's one quote I ran into, which is awesome, by Shelley Winters, which is, "A good cameraman captures the face, a great one captures our souls." So with no further ado, here is Barry Morgenstein. How you doing, Barry?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Love your work, by the way.
I really appreciate that.
So to jump right into this, tell us about how you got into photography and maybe a little bit about what it was, your aspirations before becoming a photographer, because we all make our way kind of, along the way, what we're going to be, how, so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, sure. I grew up in the 70s. I was a young, long-haired rock and roller. I played guitar, had my Stratocaster. I was in bands with my friends. Girlfriend at the time was a singer. And, it wasn't before long that I realized I wasn't going to have much of a future as a guitar player. I was not that good at it. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. I think my quote in the book was, I wanted to be Jimmy Page, but that job was already taken. So luckily, years later, I went on to photograph him. But so from being a music lover and realizing I'm not going to have a career as a guitar player, so I somehow picked up a camera and I started photographing my friends who were musicians. Again, the singer of the band, who was my girlfriend at the time, started photographing her. And I realized, since I have this love of music, I know how to capture these people, and I have a feel for capturing musicians. So that was kind of my way into the music business, without actually being a musician. It was, that's what kind of led me there. So it was kind of a roundabout way, but I found my way into the music business.
Yeah, but hey, we're glad you did, because it's really important to we musicians that there's people out there taking pictures of us. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And knowing how to capture you, feeling the music for sure. Helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So what moved you? So I know you're a photographer, but what moved you kind of toward the more portrait photography?
Yeah, I guess after I was doing the rock and roll stuff, and I was winding down. A lot of the music around, I wasn't inspired to shoot anymore. So I just, at the beginning, I thought I was going to be a fashion photographer. I thought, oh, that's a cool job. It's like, you're around beautiful models all the time. Why not? Just like, but then I kind of realized too early on, fashion world was not for me either. I wasn't really feeling that. but I enjoy capturing people and talented people, whether it's actors or musicians or, whoever, I love dealing with people. So I started doing the portraits, and I kind of got recommended to contact a local soap opera magazine when soap operas were big in New York City. And, they instantly hired me, and I started getting asked for by other soap opera actors to shoot their portraits for the magazine layout or whatever, their promo. So I realized I kind of found my specialty too. After the music, I had two chapters of my life, the music and then the portraits.
Sure. And of course, they're intertwined,
right.
as is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an impressive list of clientele. So are there any that you stand out as like your favorite sessions, or the ones that really stand out to you out of all of those? Are there like maybe a few that are like the standouts? Or
I guess again it goes in chapters. Maybe back with the music stuff, I have my favorites back then.
Sure.
Photographing Paul McCartney, being a big Beatles fan, that was amazing. People like Stevie Ray Vaughan, just being able to photograph these great legends that I, grew up listening to. B.B. King, there's so many that music wise. And then later on, as I got to do portraits, I met some amazing people. I'm a big supporter of veterans and military too, so I've gotten to meet a photograph and meet some really great heroes and some really cool people. So, sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Are there any like stories that you can think of? Because obviously, whether you're a musician or you're a photographer, and all the people that we deal with all the time, there's those kind of stories that jump out. You know, like I have my own. You know, when you end up behind an arena, like hanging around with a bunch of other like diverse rockers and stuff like Marilyn Manson, etc., and so forth. Are there like any stories that kind of pop out that are some of your favorite stories?
Oh yeah, and which some are featured in my book too. That I tell some of the stories. I have a couple of funny stories too. There's a funny story about Elton John. There was a story about me and Dave Mustaine of Megadeth. I don't know why I ended up at some bar hanging out with him. It was either before or after a show. me and Dave Mustaine were at this bar, the only two guys at the bar, and we're these two bartenders, one a beautiful blonde, a beautiful brunette, and he's hitting on one, I'm hitting on the other, and we both failed miserably. And I'm like, well, if the rock star failed, I don't feel so bad.
I think in that case, I think that failure permeates across. It doesn't matter whether you're an A-lister, rock star, or what. Exactly. One of those things. It's part of life, right?
I mean, another one is I got to photograph Tommy Lee and Vince Neil of Motley Crue, and it was 9:00 in the morning, like 9:30 in the real early in the morning, up at the record company, and I had to go photograph the two of them. And Tommy Lee had a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he was like drinking away. And I was like, and it was at 9:00 in the morning. And he offered me some Jack Daniels. I'm like, and at the time, Jack Daniels was my drink, but not at 9:00 in the morning. You know, Ed McMuffin and coffee would have been good at that hour, but I didn't start drinking until nighttime. So I just politely said no, thank you, and he kind of looked at me like, did that like a dog head tilt, like when he hears a whistle, like a weird something odd, like that's weird. He doesn't want Jack Daniels 9:00 in the morning. He didn't understand. So anyway, that was funny.
Yeah, hair of the dog, man. That's not what you're gonna want to have. I understand. I couldn't drink that early in the morning either. Even back in the day when
exactly
when I couldn't do that.
Exactly.
So there are people that talk about you as well. You talk about it is your signature style. Mm-hmm. How would you describe that, and what really brought you around to that signature style? Because obviously these things come in adaptive phases, right? What how you generate that style, right. How you end up feeling comfortable with that, and how you see that as your best angle and signature, as to how other people see it and how you see it.
Yeah, well, I guess as far as like the portraits, which I always tell young photographers too, is you take you're influenced by other photographers. Maybe you try to copy them a little, but eventually you kind of, through the influence, you kind of like take the combination. Anyway, you just basically find your own style. Right. You get influence, you copy a little bit, but then you'll find your own style, what feels right to you. And I think that's what I did. I had a bunch of influences for my portrait photography, and I think I kind of have a same feeling, but luckily I hopefully found my own style.
Sure. And I guess that's kind of hard to describe, because I guess it really that permeates from one session to another, depending on
as time goes on, you realize you really kind of like build up your own version or your own styles.
Yeah, I guess it's almost like fashion in a way, even though that's not where you went. It's because whenever you have people come in, they're different or diverse. You have a different background, so you kind of have to figure out how that works out. Is a lot of your style also based on like the angles and the distance and all those kind of things, or is it just the way that you approach each specific session?
It's more about feeling with me. So you talk to the people, you get to know them. If you're, whether it's an artist or whatever they do, you just we talk and we have conversations. We have music playing in the studio. We have a nice atmosphere. So it's always very laid back, and it's a friendly atmosphere. So I as I get to know them, and I just get a feeling for the shots I'm doing. So yeah, it's definitely my lighting. It's the lighting. Try to keep it classic looking. Like I use a classic, which was influenced by early photographer Francesco Scavullo, who was a fashion and portrait photographer. But I always love the way he just simple gray background, focused on the people, their eyes, their personalities, and I think that's what I kind of bring out in my photographs. Like I don't like I always love Annie Leibovitz, great photographer and all those type, but like with a big elaborate sets and kind of like that's not my style. It's just not what I prefer. Works for other people, but I like to keep simple, basic portraits. And really bring out the soul of the person. The way I like.
I kind of like the simple approach. I think it takes away from the shot probably when it gets too cluttered and busy beyond the actual target. So I would agree with that for sure. So you said that you failed miserably as a guitar player, but did you record anything before that? I didn't ask that when I was talking about earlier, or where you're saying I was bad, so I didn't
No, I was
record.
really, not being modest, I was really bad. I just have the I couldn't even tune my own guitar. So I just not have. So it's weird. I love music, and I think I have an ear for what's good. But
Yeah.
playing guitar, I just didn't. I couldn't tune the guitar, and I just I can make a lot of noise with my Stratocaster and Marshall stack, but I didn't have. It was not the talent was not there. You know.
Well, back then we did have some punk, that didn't really require much except for lots of distortion and several chords, so
Right.
you
True.
might-
Although I was never a punk fan, so that's why I was more the. I would rather play the Stones or Zeppelin and stuff. And I could figure that out. Especially,
That's awesome. So many photographers they strive to really kind of focus in on the A-listers and stuff, which you have quite the resume of them, and in different areas. It's not just Hollywood or rock stars. Right. It's political field, everything.
Right.
But you seem to be more at home and at base with like family photography and like veteran photography. Is that really where you're where you really enjoy being?
Well, family. I wouldn't say family photography is a big part of my what I do. I mean, I love doing it if I do it, but that's not my main focus. That's
not your main focus. Gotcha.
No, it's more portraits. But just like you said, I mean, I'm as comfortable shooting as like a big major person on TV than just a regular guy coming in or whatever. I just I don't treat anybody differently. That's for sure. Everybody's welcome. We have a great time, and I do like working with humble people, and always find that veterans are very humble and like the people I admire most, but they also have the most humble personality. So those are some of my favorite shoots.
Awesome. Yeah, well, like you, I admire that too. So every time I see a veteran, I thank them for their service. Right. So I couldn't imagine being out there doing that. So they were doing it for us. So hey,
exactly. I'm with you.
Especially when they're humble like that, you just think to yourself, "Oh my gosh, man, that's great for you, man."
Yeah, incredible people that did incredible things for the country, and just like the nicest, funniest people too. They're really funny, like fun to be with too. So, yeah.
Sure. So tell us about. I'm going back a bit now because now I'm kind of like going back thinking about my stomping ground. So you're kind of up in my stomping grounds up there. I'd imagine you've probably taken portrait shots of a lot of people that we know in common. And one of them I remember is Jerry Fasano and Carl Cochran, God rest his soul.
Carl.
Oh yeah. They're very good. So I've known Jerry from, oh my gosh, way back when I was hanging with Trickster and Dean Fasano.
Oh, wow.
And I was recording with Dean back in the day. So
nice. Cool.
Yeah. So I played all those places up there, man. Studio One and Escapades.
Did you know my Did you know my best friend Paul Fernandez? He played in a band called Jade Diamond.
Oh yeah.
My best friend Paul he played in Jade Diamond. I used to go see they played, we all, but he was my rock club buddy too. We went to Soul Factory and Circus and Hole in the Wall and all those places. And that's back when. And then when I first began my career is when I first met Carl. I was working as an assistant with Mark Weiss. He was a big heavy metal photographer.
Yeah.
And I think Ozzy. It was after Randy Rhoads was killed, and I think Ozzy was auditioning guitarists, and Carl auditioned.
Right.
Of course, he didn't get the job, but I remember he came in, and for some reason I ended up doing photos that he was going to send along with his tape, and we just became close, great friends. I used to go see him with his local band for Far Cry. Far Cry was it?
Yeah, Far Cry. Yeah.
Just an amazing guy in there. Yeah, so I have a nice tribute to him in my book too, actually. So that's pretty cool that Carl. Yeah.
Oh man, he had great guitar tone. What slamming guitar tone he had. So
I loved it. Yeah, I loved that. I loved when I'd see him with Far Cry and they would do like Allman Brothers type of stuff, and I loved when he would do that.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's always nice when you have like people that you both know and from the same area. So you're talking about the Ozzy gig. Actually, the other guy who made it was actually from our area too. Was Zach? He played in the band called Iris.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's great. So tell us a bit about your book, Rockin' Soul.
Mhm.
I saw the actual video clip stuff from it. It looks like it's really cool. So
Thank
why
you.
don't
Thanks.
you tell us a bit about that slamming book?
Thank you. Yeah, it's we're really excited about it. It's been a couple years in the works. Well, people have been, on social media. I'm always posting my photos, and once in a while, I'll go back to my rock and roll, excuse me, or music photos, and people always say to me, "When are you going to do it? You got to do a book on this. I'll buy it if you do a book." And finally, my wife said, "You really you got to do this. This is your legacy. These are amazing photos. People are going to buy it, and you just got to get it out there." Maybe she's hinting that I'm getting old, so I better get it out there.
Don't worry, man. I color this stuff in here too. So.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I started researching, and I found a great publishing company called Ballast Books, which, going back again, they deal with a lot of their authors are veterans and military people. But we hit it off right away, and we had some of my clients were their authors, like Eddie Gallagher, former Navy SEAL, and it was like a perfect fit. And they helped me through it. It took about a year to really get it going. So as you probably know, all my stuff was on slides and black and white negatives. That's what I used to shoot before digital. So I had to go through all these slides, negatives, had to have thousands scanned. Had to buy another light box, which I threw out years ago with the loop. To look through everything, and I just try to narrow down to like maybe a little over 100 photos of the best. And so it came out in November, and it became like an instant top seller on Amazon and sold out. And we went through almost 1,000 books. I had to actually do a rush reprint already after 2 months, which was the first for Ballast, I believe they said. People love it. It was great for Christmas. It was a great gift, and people still buying it for, I like it. It's a good, when I was trying to think of the title, I was thinking rock and roll this or rock and roll that. I'm like thinking, well, it's not just rock and roll. It's all kinds of music. It's kind of all kinds of genres, as you can see on the cover. I try to show that I shot rock and roll, blues, pop, jazz, and then inside there's country, there's rap, there's everything, folk, I guess, so it's a wide, anybody who loves music, I think this is going to be something in there that you would like,
Yeah, talking about our area, you got Flava Flav in there, right?
Yeah. No, actually he didn't. It's funny you said that, but he didn't. I don't think he made the book. I almost put him in because actually I photographed him the night that he played with Carl Cochran.
Yeah.
The night that Carl Cochran had his stroke. There's an Iridium in New York, and I was hanging with him and Flava Flav backstage, and Carl was amazing. He played amazing that night. Next thing I knew, he had a major stroke. But
wow.
But that's another story. But I was this close to putting the shot, and I don't know why he didn't make it. But people are telling me I need to do a volume 2, so maybe he'll make the next one.
Yeah. Boy, volume 2. So we're gonna take a station break here in a minute. We're gonna learn a bit more about the Starfish Foundation, but we're also going to see a really cool video related to Barry's awesome book. So all of you just hang out, stay tuned, and we'll be back here shortly with Barry Morgenstein.
Hey there, change makers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Hey, all my mind travelers, we're back here with the awesome Barry Morgenstein. I've been having a really good talk with him. Great guy. From my old stomping grounds. Seems we have a lot in common. Yeah, it's awesome talking about this book. So let me ask you too, is in relation to photography. I have a friend who did a lot of the work when I was touring, which is Chris Helton. You know, a lot of the rock magazine kind of stuff. Do you ever do like festivals? Like I played Rocklahoma at one point, and there was a lot of photographers there and stuff. Do you do any of that stuff, or you stay mainly to the more of the kind of grounded kind of portrait kind of stuff now?
Oh, now, yeah, no more music for me now. That's long past.
It's long gone,
all portraits. That's in my studio in New York. But I do travel. Excuse me. This week I'm going to Louisiana for a shoot. But I do have I shoot a lot in the Virginia, D.C. area. I go twice a year, and I do a weekend of my headshots. I've done it in Jupiter, Florida. I've done it in Nashville. So I'll just like book a whole weekend of people coming in and have a team down there or in Virginia. I have a regular team in Virginia. But yeah, basically based in New York City.
Okay, well, it sounds like I'm going to need to come see you so I can get you to take some shots of me so I can put one on the wall here and you can at least make me look good. I'll die a little bit more before I come on over.
You're welcome anytime.
And so you're going down to Louisiana. You're going down to old New Orleans, man. You're going to go get you some beignets.
No. What is it? What is that? What is that?
It's beignets. Yeah, it's old. There's the Café du Monde in the French Quarter. They have the
nice
big old beignets with all the powdered sugar you get all over yourself before you go head out to your next photograph gig. Right. White sugar powder everywhere.
Well, I wish I had time, but we're actually flying to New Orleans, but we've got to drive an hour and a half to our shoot in Lafayette.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I wish I had more time to kind of just, I'm going to be with my assistant and my makeup artist. We got to drive right to our location. But yeah, one of these days, it's funny, but that reminds me of a story too. When I was photographing a couple of the Neville brothers were on the set of Sesame Street. And I'll never forget I forget, it was Art Neville, I think. Such a nice guy. And he just like met me, just introduced me. He's like, he just hands me his card. He says, "Oh, next, if you come to New Orleans, come to our place and hang out." It's like, really? Like, I just met the guy and he was like inviting me. I was like, to this day, still kicking myself. I never took him up on that, but I guess I wasn't going to just show up and just say, "Hey, you invited me. Here I am." It was odd, but it was kind of a nice invite. It was like, I was always think, what if I took him up on that?
Well, coming from New York, New Jersey, New York area, we're not used to that kind of Southern hospitality. And, they are like that, it's like the door open and stuff. But you're like, so what's the angle?
Exactly. It's so true. Yeah, I mean, my mom was from Alabama, Birmingham, and so when I would go, even as a young kid, I would go back and be like, kind of like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God, they're so friendly." It's like my grandma's introduced me to the clerk at the grocery store, and like people are very helpful and friendly. It's like I can get used to this. It's the way it should be, really. But
Sure. Well, the shock of traveling, but just imagine when, so when I was younger, we moved right from New Jersey, during the time of like running with gangs and everything else,
right,
to Mississippi. I was living on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. The Yankee had dropped into the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. And
that's great.
You want to talk about a serious turn of events and culture shock, man.
My cousin Vinny moment.
Yeah, cousin. Yeah, the two Utes. Yeah. So, how many people do you typically set up when you go? Because obviously you got to make it worth the travel and everything else. So, what's a typical kind of setup for when you do these things?
And when I go to Virginia, I try to. We usually get at least 30. I try to get in at least 30 to make it really worthwhile.
Right.
We do it. It's kind of like it's like we got 2 makeup artists and working and we're shooting back to back. It's a little bit quicker than I would shoot here in New York, but quality is the same, so it's always a fun weekend. We have a great crew. We have like behind the scenes photos, videos. We do interviews. We have food. We, of course, music playing. Big part of my photo shoots. The famous Barry Morgenstein jukebox I bring with me. It's like I have my little mini jukebox, and it's got my little old iPod, but it's my playlist. So usually people like my taste. So
That's awesome. So I take it that Led Zeppelin's on it.
oh yeah, why? Like I love music, and I just love great music, and my taste can go from Fred Astaire to Led Zeppelin. It's like it's a pretty wide variety. So
Yeah.
good music is good music. Certain styles I don't like. Might not find a lot of hip hop on there, but
Yeah.
but that's just my taste. So.
No, I understand. I was the same way growing up too. My mother and father had a huge record collection, so I'd pull the vinyls out and I'd listen to everything from Mahalia Jackson to Redbone to Led Zeppelin to Yngwie Malmsteen. I had everything, classical, the whole nine yards. So
right, yeah. It's funny. I used to be like, I would say to my clients, "Oh, what do you want? What kind of music do you like?" Try to accommodate my client. And I think one time I had this. She was a young adult, and she requested Britney Spears, and I had to listen to Britney Spears for the entire shoot. I'm like, okay, I'm not asking people anymore. It's like they're just gonna get what I give them.
You did it again.
It's like, I was like in torture for the whole shoot. It was like, okay, I can't be like, you're just gonna get what I give you. It's like,
we all know those torturous moments, right? I think I took a flight. I was taking a flight to the United Kingdom, and there was a pregnant lady, poor lady, sitting next to me, and she had her daughter with her. I saw like Finding Nemo like 5 times, man. I was like, after that, I was like, oh my gosh, man. So, yeah, I completely understand. So when you do these, what's the typical like time frame of shoots? Like you were just saying, like up where you are in your studio, obviously there's going to be more time for particular shoots, and I guess there's also a different kind of cost construct too, and how you do that, right?
Right. Yeah. So back in the New York studio, it's a little. It's my regular price packages too, so it's a little more timely, but there's no time limit. It's as long as it takes, basically. Virginia, we kind of do a deal. It's a lot cheaper. Everybody makes a little less. Myself, the makeup artist, but it's about numbers. We have a lot of numbers, and limited time. But again, we get it done, and we have a like my assistant says, it's a well-oiled machine. So we've been doing this for like over 10 years down there. So we have it down. We just we show up with kind of like we come in. I feel like we're on a tour. It's like a tour bus. We show up, we do our gigs, and we're out. So it's like a weekend of just a weekend of great fun.
Yeah, so it probably makes more sense doing that than like in business. We have our satellite offices, right? Mm-hmm. We have certain people, places that we go to. Are there particular places that you usually pick that you go? I mean, like in the state, like you have specific spots, or they just kind of move around depending on whether it's a corporate event or anything like that?
Yeah, well, if I get some people fly me, like I'm being flown down to Louisiana by a specific client. That's not like a weekend of headshots. I've been flown to Texas. If it's a client, I chose Virginia basically because, again, over 12 years ago, a friend and client, mutual friend, said, you need to come to the Virginia, D.C. area, do this. And I said, I'd love to, but, I don't know anybody there. I don't have a location. She basically set me up. Speaking of Southern hospitality, she said, well, I have a friend who has a beautiful house. It's like a little mini mansion in McLean, Virginia. She set it up. Basically, they let us take over their house for the weekend. My staff stayed there. We have a ballroom to shoot in. And, we show up, and it was the first quick story, but we met the couple, great friends to this day. I'll never forget, but we were setting up on a Saturday morning in the studio, and they're walking through with suitcases like, oh, okay, we'll see you later. I'm like, oh, okay, you're going to come back. We're going to see you tomorrow. So no, we're going to Italy. I was like, and me and my sis, well, do you want us to lock up when you? And then, yeah, just lock up the front door. And me and my sister, again, New Yorkers, look at each other like, do that. Just leave the keys to the mansion, and it's all yours. And it's like just very polite. And so yeah, we've been using their place for years. There was a time the house was on the market. We had to rent a studio in Alexandria, but now they end up using it as an Airbnb, so it's available again. So yeah, we're back in March, actually March 7th and 8th. We're going to be back there. So anyway, just as example, just great people, and just I lucked out finding this great location. And I have a lot of clients are in DC. I do, like you said, I do a lot of news people, political people, and there's actors there. So I pretty much always sell out when we go down. So it's I kind of have I guess built up a name in the area too.
Yeah, and that's a great location because when I used to travel up there for politics and business myself, I'd always go to that old town because we had really good food there, and yeah, really great places. But it's like centralized. You can get people all the way from DC. You get people down from Baltimore, from like the defense places. Everything's there. So
that great location.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
and Nashville, I think I just I did a few times too, which is Nashville. I love Nashville. I used to shoot it was out of Nashville, Franklin. I don't know if you know Franklin, Tennessee. Just a great town. So I had set up a studio. Actually, again, somebody was nice. I had just met at a previous photo shoot with a client. He was a pastor at a church, and he just ended up letting me use this beautiful church he had, and had these rooms that we set up in, and that worked out good. I did that for a few years. So I did Jupiter, Florida. There's again a lot of clients are in that area, and somebody helped me set it up down there too. So
yeah, it's nice, and doing it in Nashville is fantastic because there's so much going on in Nashville.
Oh, I love Nashville. I miss it. I haven't been there in a few years, but I need to get back.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my drummer lives. So every now and then I go there. But yeah, it's and it's not that far from here, but it's a.
Where you located?
I live in Northwest Arkansas.
So, oh wow! Okay, all right.
Yes. So, but yeah, it's great there, and I'd like to go back and hang out there. And I may actually do that sometime here soon. So maybe we'll meet up there together, and we'll
that'd be cool. Hang
out in Nashville or something.
Oh, that'd be fun. I love it. Just going to each clubs. It's always great music. It's a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna take another station break here, and we're going to kind of show maybe like a montage of some of the stuff that you've done. There's so much that you've done, but some really cool stuff you've got going on. Again, love your work. I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
So everybody stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with Barry Morgenstein.
Fellow mind travelers, this is Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind. Come take a journey with me through this place we call life by picking up a copy of my book, Reality Was Once the Tapestry of the Dreamer. Available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon online. You can find the links also on my website, markallenlanoue.com. Chock full of stories about organized crime, the paranormal, my music career, NASA, and more. So go pick up your copy, and you all rock. Indeed.
Switching hotels, changing flights, plans move fast, day or night. No pen, no paper, no app to load. Just scan the tag, your info shows. Update quick, anytime, right from your phone, safe online. One little tag that does it all, ready when adventure calls. Scan and go, travel smart today. My travel tag leads the way. Your bag's connected, clear and true. Peace of mind is traveling with you. Near or far, where life takes you. One simple scan is all you do. Smart, secure, and modern too. My travel tag is made for you. Eco-friendly, built to last. Laser etch for futures fast. School trips, business, family fun. One smart tag for everyone. My travel tag. Scan it once and you're good to go.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We're back here with the awesome Barry Morgenstein, and we just showed a bit of his work. So go ahead and check out his work. He's got lots of it out there. Go to his website and all that stuff. A little later, he'll tell you where you can go, his website and bunch of social stuff. Anyway, so tell us. Other than Nashville and Florida and Virginia, what do you do? You don't do any international stuff, or is it mainly just domestic kind of stuff?
All domestic, yeah, all domestic.
Yeah. No Canada at all, or just mainly just U.S.
No, all U.S.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you have plenty of work just in the U.S., so I don't know that you have to really travel. Other than when you're in that big mansion, I almost thought you might ask them and say, "Hey, can we come with you to Italy? We'll take some pictures of you."
I was going to say, if someone does want to fly me to Italy, I'd be that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to turn down the Mediterranean. Monte Carlo, it's going to be like, yeah, I'm coming. I'll take whatever picture you want.
Exactly.
So tell us a bit about your studio, in New York. Tell us.
Yeah, it's just kind of basic. It's not a really big studio, but it does the trick. We're on 26th Street, kind of like just close to Penn Station, close to Madison Square Garden. I've been there like 15 years. It's a great, very comfortable studio. Room for the makeup. Like I said, when people come, it's kind of, we have candles going, we have music playing. Before we shoot, while they're getting makeup done, we're hanging out, we're talking, we're having a good time. Important to make the client feel comfortable and relaxed. And I think they're always pleasantly surprised to find out I'm pretty laid back and pretty normal. Is like because how artists can be a little bit crazy.
Really?
Right. I'm a guy from Jersey, so just a regular guy, and we just have a good time, and I think people appreciate that. That's why a lot of people keep coming back, and I get a lot of high end clients, so it's which is nice. So I guess they feel comfortable.
Yeah. So being in New York makes sense, even though you're from New Jersey, because obviously you have a lot of the studios there,
right.
TV shows, things like that.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that's the best place to be, because that's probably where you also get a lot of your clientele is from the network and stuff, right?
Sure. And it's funny because when I started off as doing portraits, I lived in Montclair, New Jersey, and I actually lived I had a studio there too for I think 17 years in Montclair, New Jersey. So I would have to do, people did come from New York, but certainly not as much. I could have had more clients. So I obviously eventually had to move to the city. But yeah, I did start off in Montclair, New Jersey. I had a really cool studio / home there. But yeah, so I've been in, I don't know, probably in the city over about 30 years. So, but that is the place to be. Sure.
Well, I remember Montclair. Was that 1780 or 95? Which one gets you out to Montclair? What exit is that?
Exit. Yeah, that's a good question.
It's the question we all ask. It's the question everyone asks. What exit?
I should know exactly Jersey, but I should know that, but I don't remember.
Yeah. I think I remember Hackensack, where I was at one point, was like 60 something. I don't remember the exact.
That's cool. I grew up in Teaneck, next to Hackensack.
Yeah. I know where that is. That's
that's 61. I think 161. Yeah. So.
Well, hell, we might have run into each other back then.
Oh yeah, so I grew up in Teaneck, and that's what was in my rock and roll club days. Still living in Teaneck and. Eating at the Forum Diner afterwards on Route 4.
Yeah. Route 4,
was a staple. It's like one of the diners we'd having a breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning after winding down a night of a rock club. So,
well, that was always the staple back then. It's as you went south, you were kind of going to Waffle Houses and Denny's to get the 199. Slant. But up there it was diners. We used to go to Paramus Diner all the time, like with Trickster and all the others.
Wow.
On 17, we'd go to the Paramus Diner. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what? So I guess you have a good mix of. How many stations would you say are there that you do business with in New York? I mean, there's a number of them there, right? I mean, so
there are. I've done quite a few. I guess some I do kind of a regular with one of the stations. It's always changing, or it's not always that I'm necessarily working for the network, but I'll maybe a news anchor will know of me or be recommended, or just know my work and just come to me personally and just pay themselves. Have the network pay for it. So I get a lot of that. So I get from all different kind of news stations. And these days, a lot of podcasters. So many people have podcasts. So a lot of podcasters come to me too for their main shop.
Nice. Do you ever do any of the events like the just curious, like the Grammys or anything? Again, you're staying away from the music, right? So
Yeah, and I don't really do events anymore. It's more just portraits. Events is my thing. It's when I was working in the rock and roll and the music stuff, I would do events, and I did do. It's funny you said that. Oh yeah, a great event. It was a Grammy party, after party.
Oh yeah. I went to 4 of those this time. Yeah.
Really? Well, I was at the one. I'll never forget. This is a funny, really cool story actually. It's the one, I think it was the last one that Frank Sinatra appeared at. When I could think, when they cut him off, he was talking kind of long, and they foolishly cut him off. Like anyway, so it was an after party wherever it was, and there was everybody of the day, all the big artists. I think Aerosmith was there. Although like it was in the 80s, I forget what all the big artists. So everybody's just kind of there at this big party, and I always forget this vision. So I was on the second floor with my camera, and it was almost like something out of a movie. It was like the door opens, and it's Sinatra walks in with his entourage, and I swear it was almost like there was a light around him. It's like, and the whole place just goes silent. There's all these major stars that people were just kind of not paying attention to, but Sinatra walks in, and the place just goes dead silent and just stares at him. And I've never seen such. I've seen McCartney, the Stones or whatever. I've never seen presidents like that walk into a room. It was the coolest thing, and just such a great memory. It was like, and like I said, in my mind, I remember seeing a light around him, which obviously probably wasn't there, but it was just amazing to see that. So that was like the one Grammy party I did too. It's like, so that was pretty cool.
Well, what a great one that is. That's so classic. I mean, it's just not. It would have been amazing to be in one of those. I mean, so like the last one the last parties I was at, there was some great artists there, but Frank being gone, nobody of that caliber was in this particular party, but great artists nonetheless. But
for sure.
Yeah. I was 3 rows away where so Youngblood got his Grammy, and he goes up, and he had Sharon Osbourne with him, and the whole entourage. Nuno Betancourt was up there with him, but they were paying homage to Ozzy because he had just passed recently. So,
right. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So so tell us a bit about some of those pictures you got back there. What you got up there on the wall, man? I see your book back there.
Yeah. Of course, got the book promo, but yeah, I'm actually in my home office now, and I'm a big classic movie guy. So those are movie posters, actually. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Right below. Of course, again, you see the Iwo Jima statue, but right behind me, below my book there. So big history guy, big classic movie guy. So I don't know if you can make out it's kind of a Serpico, East of Eden, in the heat of the night, Casablanca. So I just love.
I see Grease back there, right?
No.
Is that Grease back there? What is that?
Which I'm not sure.
Or is that Ricky and Lucy? What is that back there? You got a portrait back there.
I'm not sure.
Way in the back of black and white, it looks like. Anyway.
Black and white.
Is that black and white back there?
We're talking about here?
No, it's way back there. It's in the big one on the wall there, way in the back.
Casablanca,
Casablanca,
yeah.
Or Casablanca, depending on where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds better when you say it.
It's hard to see from here. I'm kind of peering through the lens.
Yeah. So I love, I'm actually influenced a lot by classic movies too with my photography, because I love old black and white films. I love the directors like John Ford, the big poster of The Searchers over there, which you can't see.
Sure.
I just saw film is a big influence. You'll see in the book too, I give all these like acknowledgments to all these influences. It's kind of a wide variety. It's musicians, it's actors, it's film directors, it's artists like Norman Rockwell, my favorite painter. Is just all kinds of influence I have going in my head. Sure,
that's awesome. So you and I actually have a lot of things alike. I'm a history guy, and
oh, cool, yeah.
I like a lot of this classic stuff. When I was out in LA in '88, I was actually going to Musicians Institute, and I had a job delivering art supplies to all of the film and record labels and all that kind of stuff, and one of them being Casablanca and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was really, really cool back in that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm into all the same kind of stuff that you are. Yeah. So one of these days offline, we'll have to talk about that.
For sure. Great, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to that, that's probably what we'll do here in our upcoming station break is kind of go through some of that part of montage of your book a little bit, maybe, so that people get a flavor of that and be able to go over there and enjoy that as well, since it has a number of facets, that kind of brings you to who you are and what the things that you've done in there, what pictures you've taken, and kind of the interest. So that's kind of cool. So before we're going to take one more station break, and then we're going to come back to you so that you can kind of let everybody know where they can find you and all of that groovy stuff. So
Love it.
Everybody stay tuned, and we're going to be back here shortly with Barry Morgenstein.
I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it.
Fellow mind travelers, this is Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind. Come take a journey with me through this place we call life by picking up a copy of my book, Reality Was Once the Tapestry of the Dreamer, available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon online. You can find the links also on my website, markallenlanoue.com. Chock full of stories about organized crime, the paranormal, my music career, NASA, and more. So go pick up your copy, and you all rock. Indeed.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Switching hotels, changing flights, plans move fast, day or night. No pen, no paper, no app to load. Just scan the tag, your info shows. Update quick, anytime, right from your phone, safe online. One little tag that does it all, ready when adventure calls. Scan and go, travel smart today. My travel tag leads the way. Your bag's connected, clear and true. Peace of mind is traveling with you. Near or far, where life takes you. One simple scan is all you do. Smart, secure, and modern too. My travel tag is made for you. Eco-friendly, built to last. Laser etch for futures fast. School trips, business, family fun. One smart tag for everyone. My travel tag. Scan it once and you're good to go.
Hey everybody, we're back here with Barry Morgenstein, and so we're gonna ask Barry here where everybody can find him, where they can find his work, where they can find him socially, etc., and so forth. So why don't you let everybody know where they can find your excellent work, sir?
I appreciate it. I'm easy to find. My website, barrymorgenstein.com, BarryMorgenstein, my name. Google me. I'm all over social media. I'm on, visit me on Facebook, on Instagram. Instagram's Barry M Photo. Facebook, just my name. Always posting my work. A lot of information. Information about the book. Information about my headshots. I have my own YouTube channel. So if you want to see some fun videos of my career, we have testimonials. We have behind the scenes. Some great behind the scenes shots of photo shoots. Interviews, to a lot of interviews I've done, podcasts, whatever. So yeah, I'm easy to find. Just Google my name, I come up.
Okay, so but on your YouTube channel, do you use any of your infamous Barry Morgenstein playlist? Is the question.
Yeah, some of them you'll see the behind the scenes. You'll see examples of. You'll hear the good music playing. Yes, yeah. And that's why on Facebook I'll do a little feature. I have all these different features I do. I do features like today's photo I wish I took, and I'll do an old classic photo. But I'll do like a today's music on the jukebox, and I'll show my jukebox. I'll show you'll hear the music that's playing at that moment in the studio. So you might hear Muddy Waters or the Stones or whatever. So always something different. So Frank Sinatra. So yeah, it's people love that stuff. So.
Oh, absolutely. We were just talking about Grammy parties. And so I went to one which was at the Village Studios in LA. Okay. And I walked up the steps, and right there on the wall was the Rolling Stones Platinum Goat's Head Soup.
Oh, nice.
And I had to take a picture because it brings me back to one of my favorite songs of that, which is Angie.
What a great song. I know.
Yeah, what a great song. And
I was driving down to one of my shoots to Virginia with my assistant. We both love music. And he loves the Stones, and he's like blurted out, says, "Yeah, I never liked Angie." I'm like, I said, "I'm stopping the car."
Hey, get out! What? Let me unlock it for you.
I was like, "How do you not like Angie?" It's just what a great song, Wow.
And it connects with David Bowie, So I mean,
exactly right. Yeah, right. And he's a Bowie freak too, so that was weird. I was like, "I can't believe you." It's like, how do you love the Stones and you love Bowie, but you don't like Angie? That's just unacceptable.
Exactly. I absolutely agree. So, yeah. So I want to say I truly appreciate you coming on, sir.
Sure. Appreciate having me.
Absolute pleasure talking to you and meeting. And hopefully I'll meet you in person sometime here soon. I'll get in touch with you about that.
Let me know when you're in the New Jersey area. Oh, and real quick, sorry, forgot to get in if they do go to my website, that's where you can buy the book too, Rock and Soul, and I will sign it for you. So
Oh, absolutely. And everybody check that out because his website's actually quite nice too. I went and I browsed around there and looked around and read some of your history bouts and some of the stuff you've done. And the book looks like it's really excellent. So I'll have to pick up a copy myself as well.
That'd be great. I appreciate it.
So everybody make sure you go there. Go check out Barry Morgenstein. And for now, I have to say, you all rock. Indeed.
Hello, friends, fans, and freaks. This is Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind.
We're rocking the film world each week with new episodes of Story to Screen with Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind, and Prana Songbird for wearestarfish.org because each one matters.
Ta-da! Okay.
We will be out rocking the film world, so we'll see you next time.